Welcome back to Trading Day at Lunch. Joining me in the studio is Henry Jennings from Marcus Today. Great to have you along, Henry. And we're going to be joined now by a guest, the Australian-listed copper producer Finders Resources, confirming its status, in their view, as a significant copper producer on the ASX after delivering a half-year profit. Now, a couple of weeks ago, $41.7 million net profit. The Indonesia-focused operator is now turning its attention to debt reduction and mine life extension. For more, we cross live to Finders Managing Director Barry Cahill in Perth. Barry Cahill, thanks very much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, Helen.
Now, what do you put that result, that fairly recent result, down to?
Oh, look, we've got a good project and we've been building it over the last couple of years, and all our hard work's come to fruition. We knew when we were building the project we'd be a good quality, low-cost copper producer, and this first half's our first real production half, and as you can see from the results, a very, very robust project.
Yeah, no, it's extraordinary. So this is the Wetar copper project in Indonesia?
Yeah, Wetar Island, which is, it's just north of Timor, so it's quite isolated, the location, but again, it's a very, very, very good project for us, and it produces some really good quality copper cathode.
All right, so now this was started as a sort of a from scratch. You developed it. Where are you up to with production now? I think you're intending to do, what, 28,000 tonnes of copper cathode a year?
Yeah, that's correct. And in the half, we did about 13,000 tonnes. So, you know, we would expect to do 14,000 tonne and a half. So we're a little bit short. But as you said, we had a $30 million operating cash flow, $40 million NPAT. So it's still very, very robust.
Why was that a little bit shorter?
Just a slow ramp up. It really is our first production half. So in the December quarter was our first real production quarter, and then we strung two together after that. So we're just slowly but surely fine-tuning and ramping up following the construction period. Yeah,
Barry Cahill, you say, you know, it's just north of East Timor, and you, by your own admission, say it's very remote. How are you finding actually the logistics of doing business in that part of Indonesia? And even dealing with both the local community as well as the Indonesian government?
We're probably in a very, very lucky position. The province we're in, Maluku, is a very, very poor province. There's not much development there. And Indonesia's an island nation, so moving things by seaborne traffic to these islands is not too difficult. We've got good support of the government. We produce a final copper cathode, which is 99.99% pure copper cathode, and we export it all over Asia, and we've got good government support. So we don't have any issues with how the project's been constructed with our local community. We employ half the local community in our workforce anyway, so we have a good relationship with them.
All right, and then where do you see growth coming from, Barry?
The island's about 145 kilometres long. There's over 100 different anomalies on the island, so we see growth coming from within the island. And as I said, being...
Sorry, when you say that, do you mean not just expanding this mine, but going elsewhere on the island?
Yeah, certainly. There's a history of gold mining on the island previously, and we're just following up from that with the copper mining.
Right.
So, yeah, it's a very, very interesting and exciting place.
So were you the first one to do copper mining on Wetar Island?
Yes, we are.
Fantastic.
Barry, hi, it's Henry Jennings here from Marcus Today. How are you going at keeping the resource? I think it's got a 7-year mine life, is that correct? How are you going extending that mine life?
Yeah, that's correct. We've actually done a drill program up at La Rocas, which is our second mine, and we've actually got a release coming out about that drilling results shortly, which were quite reasonable. And then we're going to move up to another prospect called Meron and start drilling there in the near term. And as I said, there's quite another anomalies around, and they've all got copper grade intersections on them. So we look to extend our mine life past 10 years, and we're also looking to get other tenements and build maybe another operating plant and get our production right up.
All right, so Barry, if you're saying you want to get 28,000 tonnes per annum of copper cathode, you've only done, what, 12, almost 13,000. How does that compare with other big copper producers, particularly Australian, that you're, I guess, really competing with?
We're very small compared to some of the larger producers, but by the same token, if you have a look at our earnings, our multiples on our earnings, we're certainly much more profitable than a lot. Our average price is around $1, $1.05. Our all-in sustaining is about $1.30 to $1.40, so very cheap. That's certainly a high margin operation, very small, but it makes it very sweet for the shareholders.
Yeah, all right, Barry Cahill, the MD of Finders Resources. Thanks so much for joining us. Great to talk to you.
Thank you.
Well, before we have to go to a break, let's check in on how the Aussie market is doing. It's really been having a great day today. Traders will like to see that on the screen. It's up over 1%. It has been that way for some time. Is that still the correct figure, Henry? Are you seeing that we're at 5742?
Certainly are.
Yes, we are. So it's been at that 1.07, 1.08% for some time. So coming up, we'll be answering your phone calls. Please ring us if you'd like a question put to our guest, Henry Jennings from Marcus Today, on 1300 30 34 35, or shoot us an email, yourmoney, all one word, @skynews.com.au. We'll be back after this short break.